Oh yes, my people. This is a very nice news that is coming up this time around. According to the news we are hearing, I said Simon Ekpa is about to be set free. It's a very nice one. Simon Ekpa is about to be free from Finland detention from prison. So in this video, you are going to hear everything direct from this our activist, Biafran activist, who explain the whole thing the way it is and how he will be set free. So he talks a lot concerning what is going on in Finland and the issue concerning the Nigerian government with the Finland, because the whole thing here is that not the Finland that is holding Simon Ekpa. The people holding Simon Ekpa is Nigerian government, and it is because of the issue of payment and the issue of by business, at least agreement between them and Finland. That is why they now accept to hold Simon Ekpa, to prison him. But as it is now, Simon Ekpa is about to be released, so he's about to be free. Well, we are waiting to see, and we are expecting him to be free, because as a man who is fighting for his rights, for justice, and for the freedom of his people, he needs to be free, and he needs to grant freedom in anywhere, because everybody knows that he's not a terrorist, according to what Nigerian government used to tag him, that he's a terrorist. And also, you are going to hear from this video where this our brother talks about Malami, the man that is fighting for freedom from South Africa. So he talks things concerning him. So you are going to hear from him also. So in this video is full of a lot of information that is very, very vital. So don't skip any part of it. Try to watch it to the end for you to understand everything that is going on. So as you're about to watch, try to like, subscribe, and share it to the go around. And I would like to hear your comments down below. And thank you for watching.
Oh, Julius Malema bụ a freedom fighter, man. Nnamdi Kanu bụ onye ori. You people went all the way to South Africa to get Julius Malema to come and give a keynote speaker as a freedom fighter all the way from South Africa. But you people are lawyers called to bar. And so shameful to identify with Mazen Nnamdi Kanu just because he's Igbo. Just because not born Igbo. Shame on to you people. I am open for litigation. Open unu ba ma open on ka kam meji jenga. Le kam jenga ko ka nonsense ya be. Alo na po din de ba anyi. Kenu kebo no so nke bi mezi na akalu no mma. So ko do se mezi na akalu no mma. Unu na na konye zunu nche nuko jeba na akwa aka. Mana nke imu no na emu ni ifele. Kan ku eni Igbo ka obuno susu nu obu ndi Igbo maka na ifelu na ejumiru. Ifeni ne bu ndo ki be bu ndi Igbo ifelu na emegbu. Oh!
A spirit right there in Finland where nobody is seeing, nobody is watching, nobody understands what is actually going on there. But I can tell you from every source that judgment is about to be pronounced on the 1st of September 2025. Simon Ekpa will be set free completely from what we are hearing. There has been an underground, negotiation has been going on from different organizations and different people. I also reported that there were some influx of serious international lawyers, who also came to support the process. But the judgment so far, from what we are gathering from intelligence sources, are showing that Simon Ekpa is likely going to surprise millions of people around the world, and that the Finnish government has decided to do the needful. And what is the needful? If you look at how they came up with so many charges against Simon Ekpa, which they later actually dropped, and the last court appearance, according to Simon Ekpa's lawyer, he made it very clearly that Nigeria has no evidence whatever to present or even try Simon Ekpa in court. Forget whatever people are saying. The Biafran government in exile has taken it upon them to an extent that the convictions of no trial has already been negotiated. And what we are hoping, as we continue to brief you developments now concerning Simon Ekpa, what is going to happen any moment from now. This is just a few days to victory for Simon Ekpa, few days to judgment declaration by the Finnish government. They are trying to make sure that everything is being put in place. We don't know where the pressure is coming on Alexander Stubb, the president of Finland currently now. But what we are seeing clearly is that there are several deals, several negotiations, and that Simon Ekpa has decided not to back out from Biafra agitation. And from the evidence gathered so far, there were no traces of any form of direct involvement in terrorism, money laundering, tax evasion, and all those charges has actually been dropped. But the fear is that the Nigerian government and their delegates to Finland, have been barred from any coming closer to anything that has to do with negotiation with the Finnish government, because it looks as if the Finnish government themselves have seen the handwriting on the wall clearly, given what is happening currently in Nigeria. And nobody can come out and say that Simon Ekpa, why he is still kept in incommunicado somewhere in Finland, that killings are still going on everywhere in Nigeria. So I think morally and otherwise, the Finnish government, the Finnish nation, has an independent law of which they can use it on any of the charges that were being brought to. And from what we are gathering, Simon Ekpa has no case to answer in Finland. And that's why a lot of people are hoping that what is going to come out definitely at the end of the day, but just by 1st of September, 2025, the judgment is going to be passed in favor of Simon Ekpa, and he's going to be set free completely. But what we are hearing is that Nigeria is not comfortable with that secret leak of how the judgment is going to go, and they have started reorganizing and mobilizing themselves again. And that was triggered what the Chief of Army Staff, Christopher Musa, said recently, that the absence of Simon Ekpa has brought calm in the entire eastern region. But that is absolutely a lie. He's just trying to tell you they are working on another angle, of trying to manipulate the victory that is coming on 1st September, and which will definitely be resisted, because they know that the Finnish government can never, extradite Simon Ekpa back to Nigeria in whatever gap, because they do not have extradition treaty with Finland. Then, secondly, Simon Ekpa's appearance publicly might trigger another higher tech advanced agitation that Nigeria cannot be able to stand it, and they are afraid that his presence this second time, might just crush anything that has to do with Nigeria identity. A lot of people have been talking about this country called Nigeria. You can see what the reaction coming from Nigerians when a high-profile man of God declared that God is not interested in anything that has to do with Nigeria, and that Nigeria was never the will of God. And when people like Simon Ekpa takes up, something like this, a lot of people seem to go against it, because they have already knew that what they are benefiting from the gang up and the oppression and suppression of the Igbo race, and which must be stopped. Finland government must understand this very clearly, that whatever agreement or deal or treaty last, that will depend on how everything is going to unfold already. And you can see that the Nigerian structures are already on shaky ground. The men of God are reacting to this nation called Nigeria. A lot of people are just, tired of Nigeria as a nation, Nigeria as an entity. Nigeria is inhabitable. And the only hope people are looking at now, given what is happening in the north, given the political tension already on ground, is that they are praying that the global community, the international community, the world leaders themselves should look into the issue that has to do with Biafran restoration. Look at what is happening now. The entire Sahel nation, led by the head of president, head of military leader of Burkina Faso, has distanced themselves from anything that has to do with ECOWAS and the AU currently now. And they are saying that even though there is much pressure for them to join the so-called terrorist committee or forum or military formation that will conquer or that will handle the issue of insecurity in Africa and West Africa, the Sahel nations under the military head of state, Ibrahim Traore, has refused automatically. And we are hearing that this man is the one, that deploy one of the African-based international lawyer to Finland because he is looking for a more corporate support, and understanding, and try to expand alliances and allies, people who are in the same direction with him to champion Africanism and African cause. A big shame to the South African activists, who couldn't even go to, who were at Enugu, where Nelson Mandela was also being hidden, kept by an Igbo man in Enugu there when during the days of apartheid in South Africa. The Igbo man picked him up from South Africa and hid Nelson Mandela. But unfortunately, Julius Malema came to Nigeria, a South African activist and opposition leader in South Africa, and attended a conference in Enugu there, Nigeria Bar Association, and he never for one day, he never for one moment mentioned the issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Of course, shame on the governor of Enugu State, who is just making noise now that he is pleading on Bola Ahmed Tinubu to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has said it, that nobody should beg on his behalf, and that nobody should take credit of his release, because God is involved in anything that he is doing. The Nigerian Bar Association chapter of the Igbo professional lawyers who are part of that organization, shame unto you people too, because you never for one day mention the issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in that conference. That sends a lot of signal on who you are and what you actually represent. Samuel Ekpa is coming. Nigerian government should be careful now, because the tentacles have been expanded within the international community. Treaties are being signed while Simon Ekpa was battling trial with the Finnish government. The Biafra government, we are seeing Dr. Orabese, we are seeing a lot of them, spreading the tentacles, getting relevance and endorsement. Simon Ekpa's second coming, might spell a big doom, might eventually, trigger, currently now to Finland. And what are they getting to Finland to make sure that everything about Simon Ekpa is finalized before 1st September, and whether it's going to be on bail or somebody standing in for them. Every modalities in that regard has been worked out. And remember, there was this a global renowned African lawyer, Masanga is also joining them, or has already joined them in Finland. Is a very well-known international lawyer, who handled similar cases for nations, and victory was achieved. I think one of the reasons where the Finland are asking for negotiation, which Simon Ekpa to an extent has refused anything that will, contravene or go contrary to his ideology of Biafra activism, has already been rejected, and that is where the issue is. The Finland cannot put pressure on Simon Ekpa and of course to abandon Biafran agitation, which Simon Ekpa himself has completely refused.
The truth is finally out. Now that the Finnish government has declared the CDS of Nigeria, Musa, a terrorist now, what is the next phase of the lie? What lies can the government tell Nigerians? Now that Simon Ekpa is no longer in the picture, because it has always been pictured that Simon Ekpa is the cause of insurgency in Southeast, and now that insurgency have stopped in Southeast, and now that the Philip government has vindicated Simon Ekpa, that those sponsoring insecurity and terrorists in the country are those some persons in the military. Now, where would CDS Musa bury his shame? Because a group of people are saying we want to exit the country. Because the Igbos are saying they are tired of the contraption called One Nigeria. That this One Nigeria, it will not work. And then it has never been working. It has been a country full of lies, propaganda, and shame. That has always been how it is formed. So I am not surprised that the Finnish government has now come out to say CDS Musa is a terrorist for all the atrocities he has been, for all the atrocities he has committed in disguise of pretending to keep one Nigeria, and that one Nigeria has caused a whole lot of catastrophe in the country. Just some days ago, a notorious bandit, that was declared wanted was seen in Katsina State with top government officials going for peace talk. Between Mazi Simon Ekpa and that terrorist, who is more deadly? But here we are today. Mazi Kanu is still in detention. Kanu is still in detention because of the Igbophobia, of the hate. If Simon Ekpa happens to be from the Fulani extraction, Simon Ekpa would not be a terrorist. I can beat my chest because we've seen Fulani militias that have been given amnesty. We've seen Fulani militias that have been integrated into the society. Now that Finland have written to the ICC, Nigeria should immediately hand over CDS Musa for custody, because the French government have done their own findings too, and they've seen that something is pushing under the ground, that this man has a connection with these Fulanis, has a connection with these bandits, has a connection with these terrorists. So if they are sincere, they should hand over CDS Musa to ICC for custody. Because now that the French government has done their own conclusion, I've seen that CDS Musa himself is not innocent in this. Nigeria cannot pretend as if they are not aware that CDS Musa has been declared wanted by ICC and the Finnish government. No matter how they tend to dive the matter, it is in the social media space. Everybody has seen it, that CDS Musa has been declared wanted by ICC and the Finnish government. No matter how the Nigerian government want to die this matter, but they are very quick to declare Simon Ekpa and IPOB a terrorist group. Now that the Finnish government and the ICC has declared CDS Musa a terrorist, why is the story not online?
Now, wow. What is there that everybody, every country, every world have seen Nigeria is a country of corruption, country of lies and deceit. So nobody trusts Nigeria no matter what. Nobody in this world trusts Nigeria. So what is there is that they should release Mazi Kanu and they grant him and let him be free. Let him be free. Because enough is enough. there is no hope and there is no future. So everybody have seen that there is nothing like one Nigeria in this country. There is nothing like one. It is just they are using force to bring people together and to make sure that everybody stays together by force. So there is nothing like peace. There is nothing like unity. And this issue of seeing Musa as a terrorist, all this thing is in paper. So it is not a lie. It is not something that it is a call story. So it is just the truth. Everybody, every world have seen Nigeria as a corrupt and a terrorist country in the world, where the Canadian government can declare the two political parties in Nigeria as a terrorist organization. Then what else do you want the world to be looking into Nigeria like? So that is it. Well, I would like to hear your comments down below. Like, subscribe, and share the video to go around for everyone to see what is going on in Nigeria. Thank you for watching.